Yes. Uh, has been stabilized, but is left dormant. And the Kriegsman who was unsuccessfully guarding the tech priest that used to be working on it, has been adopted by your squad for the time being. And you went down to the fourth floor to clear out the motor pool. What would you like to do?
We,
All the orcs here are dead.
Yes,
I was about to say, we did clear out the motor pool.
I did forget to X out these guys.
Just making
That
sure.
isn't. That's another oopsie on my part.
Well, I do believe that is a chimera there, isn't it?
There are two chimeras.
Are they both functional?
The chimera on the right, I'm assuming you're going to have the tech priest inspect them rather than do it yourself.
Yes.
The chimera on the right seems to be untampered with. The chimera on the left looks like it has been relatively thoroughly tampered with by the orcs mech boy, from the armor plating being partially stripped down, and lying in a pile around this orange box of munitions, to the coaxial heavy stubber, well, that'll be pintle mounted heavy stubber from the commander's hatch, being replaced by a absolute doohickey of an orc's shooter. Triple barreled, 4 magazines, the works. And a hopper on top of that.
Right. So we're not touching that one. It's like diseased.
Not without demolition crew.
Yeah, that thing's gonna need to be. That'll be a process.
Right, but the other one's good to go.
It seems functional, yeah.
Cool. Mutheta, go do whatever rituals of turning the engine over that you need to do.
Clever use of over instead of on.
Yes, Commissar. What do you want me rolling, Sleuth? As I go through the various maintenance rituals, making sure that everything with this vehicle is proper.
Let's see, what are the skills? Let's call it tech use. If you have Forbidden Lore Mechanicus bonuses, add those on top of your regular tech use bonus.
Just run that by me one more time. I get to add my Forbidden Lore Mechanicus bonus to this.
Yes, if you just have the first pip, just take like a +5 or something. Because this is routine maintenance and Mechanicus tomfoolery with their sacred rites and so on and so forth. I am aware that I'm setting your target roll at like 175.
Hey, Commissar, can I get 10 from you and help from some party members?
Sure.
Yeah. Good gosh.
All right.
A bust machine.
Does it pass?
What is that? 6 degrees of success?
I think so.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it takes you like 15 minutes. The only thing that's potentially a problem is that there is roughly half a tank of gas, but there is enough promethium in the Sentinels to siphon out of those and into the Chimera. The Chimera's primary weapon is a multi-laser out of the book that is loaded with a 1,000 shot instead of 200 shot battery, well, power pack.
It will be a moment, Commissar. I must perform the rite of promethium transfusion. As I hook up the gas exchange lines.
Yeah, it's going to take about another 10 minutes.
I would ask the Kriegsman that's here. Where were the orcs coming into the base from, besides the motor pool?
Primarily the 10th floor and below.
Okay.
It seems they were digging through the walls.
Right. Is
Indeed. Orcs, blah.
the cargo elevator big enough to fit a Chimera?
One at a time, yes.
So we could take our Chimera, load everyone into it, drive it into the cargo elevator, and just drop down to the 10th floor with our armored support?
You could?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Have you ever tried moving a couch in a hotel or apartment elevator and it'll fit into the door, but you can't move it off to the side? Kind of like that.
Uh-huh.
It will drive directly on, but it is too narrow of an elevator to do any sort of maneuvering.
Oh yeah, I'm not asking for maneuverability. I'm asking for we go down there and we've got this 1,000 shot multi-las backing us up, plus armor plating.
Yeah.
Because when the green tide comes, I want a floaty.
Reasonable.
Got a question. Which way do
I
the
got it.
elevator doors open at the bottom?
The elevator
Same
doors
way they
are
do.
is more of a suggestion.
No, I
There's
mean,
not so much a door as a sort of railing around the cargo elevator and a like 4-inch wide ramp that just kind of plops over the gap between the elevator and the floor.
okay. Is it the same way down at the bottom? My question is, does the room open up with the elevator in the back or in the middle or in the front? Because that way it changes how we put the truck on the elevator. Because if it opens up the same way this room does and the elevator's at the back, then it would be better to back the truck in there. That way, when it opens, we're standing ready to drive forward without having to back up under fire.
Are you watching the stream?
Am I watching the stream? No.
Yeah, I've got a stream for Roll20 battle map. It looks like they're that this purple thing is the
Okay.
elevator ramp, and there's only one, implying that it will be a relatively uniform entrance and exit from the elevator.
Okay. Yeah, then I suggest we back the truck on there. I mean, as a player, I can't suggest that, but I mean, because Gashi would never think of that. Hell, he doesn't even think we could put the truck on there. Hell, he doesn't care if we put the truck on there. He just wants to shoot something. So. It's been 20 minutes since he's fired his gun. He's getting trigger happy.
Like 20 seconds. No, 20 minutes.
He's stroking the barrel.
Oh no. Commissar, you have to give the Ogren the talk.
Ray Gorkin it, and by it he means He's autocannon.
Anyway,
He's polishing it.
so yeah. Once the mutated gets all the fuel siphoned into it, we pilot. And a Chimera's an APC, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, technically an IFV, but
Point is, we can all fit in it.
yes.
Okay.
It will be pretty cramped since you have an Ogre in your squad, but everyone can fit in it.
Mm-hmm.
Ogren can sit on top with gun. Just suggesting.
If
There
you
we go.
want to, I'm not
Example
gonna.
of a chimera.
If you want to, I'm not going to stop you from sitting on top.
Is it possible for Gadgasha to do that?
There is a gun deck, and there is like roof access ports that you can just hold on to the handle of.
Okay, yeah, that's what Gadgasha does. Because he don't want to get inside the APC. It's dark in there.
It is dark in there.
Actually, can Ogrins be put on transport on tabletop? I don't think they can.
They can, but they take up the same space as 3 guardsmen.
Hot damn.
So I'm just fine riding on the top. That means I get to shoot first anyway. So hey, it's a plus for me.
Yeah, just don't whip it around the turret too fast. We learned that from Helldivers. And the multi-laser is one of the few things that can really hurt an Ogren. Like more so than the Orc's guns that almost one-shot him. Alright, so you're just backing that Chimera up onto the elevator, keeping the front armor and the main gun and the hull heavy bolter facing the ramp, right?
Yes.
Alright.
And then we go down to level 10.
Down to level 10.
Yep, where the orcs are.
I'll stick this up here, and eventually I'll have to find a more creative way to keep space, but that's a problem for future me, and that guy's an idiot. This level 4, to keep mental notes, except they're not mental because I am. Elevator, Chimera. That's probably enough room. Draw rectangle. Give me the rectangle. What color? I use dark red for the walls. That was very lucky because I completely guessed where that was going to be. We use brown. Lips. Big hole in the wall. And is rectangle. Wish it would tell me when I was reading that right. Room. And much bigger room. All right. Door. And door. And now these are actually flash kits, not the mega knobs using flash kits pictures like last week. Orcs. That.
You know,
Five on
APCs
here.
are as uncomfortable as they look.
They're
I always
more
thought they were.
uncomfortable to look.
Yeah, I always thought it was going to be worse.
Metal benches, no suspension, no sound damping.
Yeah, they are horrible. They are freaking horrible.
It can always be worse.
Yeah, you
It
could
could
be
be
outside
worse,
the
yeah.
APC when you're getting shot at.
Yeah, or it can be in
Very
a
true,
Russian
yeah.
APC.
You could not have an APC altogether and have to march. That's just as bad. I don't know. Sometimes I'd rather
can-
march than run the APC. Depends on where you're going and the terrain. If it's rough terrain, I'd rather march. than
What
take
if
the
it's
APC.
what if it's hot or raining?
You could always be on fire.
I don't think the APCs have air conditioning, so
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Oof.
it's hot, so yeah, if it's hot, I'd rather be marching. Now, if it's raining, I would rather be in the APC because
There are like
Terrible.
3 vehicles in the entire Army and Marine Corps that have air conditioning, and none of them are being sent to enlisted people.
I mean, the general's truck doesn't even have air conditioning. He just drives a truck that somebody stuck his name on.
He sweats his balls off, same as you.
There's like a colonel in intelligence with an air-conditioned car.
I think the post commander has an air conditioned vehicle. I think a post commander does. I'm not sure though. I don't think he rides around. I know Bragg's commander does it. I know Bragg. I used to ride around with Bragg's commander, but then again, he probably turned it down. That man was. He was a dentist. I mean, not a dentist. He was an optometrist. He was an eye doctor, right? He was a general. He was an eye doctor. So he got an officer rank when he joined up. But this man was as gung ho. He has watched every Army movie that you could possibly. This man was terrifying as a leader. He was just. Oh my God! Everything he did, he gave 150% and expected everyone around him to do exactly the same. Which is inspiring in combat. But when you're not in combat and you're, and it's the 9 to 5 that you have to do, you're not enthused to go clean out a warehouse. I mean,
Oh, maybe you're not.
I spent a lot of time sitting in a warehouse inventorying shit I inventoried yesterday.
just make sure none of it walked off.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
Cleaning
You
the
know,
same building day after day.
Yes, that's exactly what we do. Yes.
Super excited briefings on the grooming standards.
Mister.
You will police that mustache.
Mister, the funny thing with that is I think I've heard exactly what you said described from the other end. Where my brother's talking about like how the other logistics shops are like, oh yeah, so we'll do it this way and that way. It's like yeah, but if you do it that way, it'll result in the delivery getting there 3 days early, and someone's gonna have to fuck around with those crates until the base is actually ready to accept it.
I know.
Apparently, you would be the fuckers who have to keep rearranging it.
Yeah.
It's a perpetual game of Tetris.
I'll never forget that man as long as I live. Every day, every morning when we'd show up for formation, 6 o'clock formation for the morning runs. If this man showed up in his uniform, his workout uniform was already wet, then he was only going to give you like a 2-hour workout. You'd get out about 8:30. If it wasn't, he'll keep you till 9 and then give everybody 30 minutes and say report back at 9:30. You motherfucker. I hated this man. I hated this man. We used to make bets on how long, because he just loved to run. That's what his thing was. He was a runner, and first thing in the morning he'd run. We'd run 5-10 miles and he'd bring us back. How y'all feeling? We wanted to kill him, but you can't say that. Nah, it wasn't that bad. I'm actually
My personal favorite is I was in civvies walking back from the on-base bank to my barracks. On the other side of a street, there's a fucking, new fucking butter bar. And he seen me, I seen him, I acknowledged him, kept on walking. He crosses the street and starts yelling at me for not saluting him. It's like,
Wait,
calm
you're
down,
not in
calm down.
uniform on the opposite side. It's gotta, yeah.
Oh yeah, he was fucking brand new. You could tell. He walked like he still had the stick up his ass.
I'd find out which unit he is and drop a line.
Yeah,
to see
I
what
was
he
I was a fresh fucking enlisted, so I didn't really fuck with him. I just said, sorry, sir. Then, you know, kind of gave him a really quick salute and then kept on walking. It's like, I'm not gonna deal with that fucking shit. Oh no, I could have gone to my barracks senior chief and just been like, hey, so this happened, because barracks senior chief would have just fucking laughed and then went and found out who it was.
Oh yeah, and caused all kinds of issues.
Uh-huh.
I love butter
But-
bars. Butter bars.
They're so
Butter
cute.
bars- I mean, they are so fun. They're the ones right out of college that think, you know, they just came out of officer training course, that 6 week or that 2 week course, telling them
They're
what
5
they
foot
need to
tall
do.
but think they're 6 foot.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, they're so much fun.
All right. Let's refocus.
I'm sorry.
No. You're all good. This is actually quite fun.
Making fun of butter bars is a moral obligation of anyone who is in the military.
Well, I mean, it's better than what we used to do. You know, they used to shoot them, but you know, well, not exactly.
You know, it's really weird. That's
They
not an
would
AK
leave
round,
them
and it's in the back of his
somewhere and then-
head. I don't know what happened.
accidentally went off. No, they would lead them somewhere and just leave them.
Just march him into the middle of the jungle, then just leave.
Yes, that's what they would do.
Well, everybody
when-
knows LT can't navigate, so that's how you get rid of them.
Just ditch him in the fucking boonies.
Hey, welcome to Catachan. I'll be your guide, except I won't. Good luck.
If they find their way back, I guarantee you that the first sergeant and the company commander will never bring anybody up on anything. They will. It would be so funny that butter bar would probably be forced to take a land nav course. It's just so fucking funny.
Weren't we about to get shot up by orcs?
No, we were about to shoot the orcs.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot of fire going both ways.
We'll see.
All right, so I think our heavy weapons guy's on the Pintle heavy las.
I would imagine
so-
Seth's character is manning the big gun.
So,
You manning
because it's a
dirty?
vehicle, it gets a little bit weird. If you're trained in the weapons, you can use them regularly or in the vehicle. If you're trained in operate land vehicle, that also includes being trained in the weapons of land vehicles.
Oh wait, so I know how to use them?
If you're trained with operate land
surface?
vehicle, operate surface, then you can use the weapons on any surface vehicle as long as they're on the surface vehicle.
And since I'm like trained with bolt weapons, I can use the heavy bolter that's in like the
The front.
yeah, I forget the name for that. Pintle, I think maybe.
No, the Pinto's
No, not the Pintle.
Hull gun.
bow. Yeah, bow, hull, whatever.
The Hull. Yeah, it's because of the seats, like Castilian gun, something like that.
No.
Anyway,
Actually, Castellan gun sounds pretty cool.
It does sound cool.
I don't think there's one in Only War, but in Wrath and Glory there is a stat block for a Castellan robot.
I think I'd be the one proficient in that.
So
He would be.
I'm just gonna point out, if I see ogres, I will start shooting before y'all even see them, because I'm on outside the truck.
That does sound like initiative.
yeah.
And I'm assuming they're gonna start shooting at us as we come
Was
in
a
the elevator.
D10 plus 6?
Yes. Uh, Are all three of the weapons of the Chimera being manned?
Stand by. I'm still typing.
Assuming I'm driving.
I am manning my own autocannon. 'Cause I don't know how to use any of the guns in the ship.
I'm glaring at them, trying to set them on fire with my mind.
All right, I'm just going to do some quick color coding.
I think the
uh,
Commissar and Arcan are firing guns.
that
I'm on the
guy.
multi-laser.
Okay, so what guns are on the Chimera?
Multi-laser?
Right. There's the multi-las. I think he mentioned a heavy bolter. What was the third one?
Heavy stubber, pintle mounted on the commander seat in the turret.
Is anybody else trained in bolt weapons?
Gut Dasher is trained in both weapons.
Yeah, but you're using the
Gut Dasher
autocannon.
is using an autocannon.
So
Laser
technically,
solid.
because it's a heavy bolter, it is a heavy weapon, but because it's hull mounted, I'm just going to say you can use it without heavy weapon training. It's not like there's mass you need to lug around and worry about.
Can
Right.
the
Yeah.
droid download some weapon schematics and learn how to use a weapon?
Well, SV's driving. I guess
So
I'll be
that's
on the
another-
heavy bolter since it's better than a heavy stubber. Arkin's on the main gun, the heavy las. You're on the hull itself, like standing there with your autocannon, going all Rambo on them. Valdrick is just looking out a porthole, setting people on fire with his mind. I think that's all of us.
Yeah,
What about
I'll,
Muthea?
I'll be
Oh!
chanting in binary to the Omnissiah.
Mutheda, get in the commander's seat and use the heavy stubber.
Are you sure?
As versus what? What else are you going to do?
Versus you not doing anything, Gilbert? It's a gun. Use it.
Wasn't that gun already in use?
No,
No.
it's unmanned at the moment.
Oh, okay.
That's why
Sorry.
we're saying get in the seat.
No, I didn't realize it was unmanned at the moment. I thought I guess I confused the stubber with the bolter that Under was on.
Yeah, I'm on the bolters because I am trained in bolt weapons. I don't think you are.
I am not.
Right. So it'll be more effective in my hands. So yeah, grab the commander seat. You can direct SV's driving as well from there. And since you guys got that whole pseudo
Wait,
noosphere,
wait. What's Arkin using?
the multi-las main gun.
Okay. Okay.
like he's in the gunner
Gotcha.
seat, like the actual gunner seat. I'm
Right,
in like an
right.
auxiliary seat with the heavy bolter. You're in the commander seat. SV's the driver. Valdrick's in a passenger spot. I think just looking out of one of the portholes and spotting targets for his mind. And Gutgasher is just standing on top of the thing, just like surfing it like in a video game, just with his autocannon out.
I'm picturing the rest of us doing this 40k shit, and we got fucking Valdrick over here, like that South Park episode with the psychics going, blowing up orcs.
Yeah, the Kriegsman is in the crew compartment, but he has the roof hatch open and he's just leaning out under it, using it as cover to hopefully deflect some of the incoming fire.
Alright, guys, I'm driving.
Yeah, you're all fucked.
Why are there 6 pedals when there's only 4 directions? I say that all the fucking
Okay.
time and nobody gets that reference.
They're lame.
That's because they're uncultured barbarians and they don't know who Sheila is. All right. I believe Mr. Arcan has the highest initiative.
Yes, I do. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna aim the multi-laser. Where's the biggest orc I can get a beat on?
This guy.
I'm gonna light him the fuck up.
A fine choice. He is 36 meters. That is outside of point blank range, but inside of short range. So you get a +10.
Excellent. And there is only full auto on the multi-laser.
There's only full auto on all of these.
Oh yes.
I like these guns.
So I do believe auto is what, another +10?
-10.
Ah, -10. No.
But you're the heavy gunner. You should have the companion order stabilize
Yeah.
to turn that -10 into a +10.
It's a +20. I like it. Also, that bit of airsoft is great. That's not follow?
Just
No,
the
this is
the how gay he is with that. Okay, like he's okay.
even better. Like, damn, bro. Okay.
Also, the orcs with the color splotches in the corner of theirs, this guy's not visible, but it's purple. Their weapons are glowing at some point of their gun, or in the Meganob's case, his giant fist weapons.
Ah, yes. Power fields, probably. Ah, excellent. That is 2 degrees of success.
63 is 1, 50, 40. That is 3 degrees of success.
Excellent.
Alright, what is hit location 83? That is right leg. Alright, and these are all pen 2, I believe.
Yes, pen 2.
That is some damage. Alright. Alright. And you swing the gun around and light up the biggest orc you see, who happens to have big chunks of metal strapped, or knowing orcs, very possibly fused to his fists.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to have, the first shot in particular, taken a decent chunk out of him, but he is still standing.
We'll fix that next go around.
Alright. Valdric, who would you like to set on fire?
Also the big orc.
Alright, he is 36 meters away. Would you like to push your power? Silly question, of course you would like to.
No, not this time.
Praise the
Commissar's
Emperor.
order. Commissar's orders, Valdric. Push your powers.
Don't listen to them. Listen to the Emperor who tells you not to push your powers, because that's great.
Well, you don't get much more fate, than that, huh?
That is doubles, however.
Oh no, it is.
No.
What have you done?
Go
Does that
away,
mean something bad
Siege.
happened?
Well, I gotta roll a 2d100.
The result is all of our ammo starts cooking off. We're in big trouble.
Valdric,
Well, I know
I
what
just-
75 and up is, so let's see what 38 is.
I just want to let you know, Valdric, before we die, I've always hated you.
If I
Psychic
don't die,
phenomena,
I hate
38. Ooh, demonic mask. That sounds fun.
Well,
For-
I can get shot to re-roll again. Because
So
if
your
you're reading
choices are demonic mask with the commissar in the same vehicle, which I'm sure will end wonderfully. Get shot by your buddy to smack the heretic back out of you, instead of the Commissar to smack the heretic extra out of you, or Perils of the Warp, which are all fun. Go on, take your pick.
I mean, 1d5 wounds is a lot less than Commissar.
Concerned that I have the bolt
Perhaps.
pistol? Yes.
Perhaps.
Ow.
Oh yes, the Commissar who deals 1d fuck you damage.
D10 plus 5, explosive, with pen 4.
Yeah, 1d fuck you.
Warp Madness. A violent
mean,
ripple of tainted discord causes all creatures within 2d10 meters, with the exception of the Psyker, to become frenzied for a round and suffer 1d5 corruption points unless they pass a difficult -10 willpower test.
I like the 38's the best.
Demonic Mask. For a fleeting moment, the Psyker takes on a demonic appearance and gains a fear rating of 1 until the start of the next turn. However, he also gains 1 corruption point.
And will probably be shot by the Commissar.
I hope not.
Oh, it's probably a certainty. You have to be reined back
There-
in. You're letting your powers go to your head. You will get shot.
They're orcs. Oh, kill them.
Commissar, I'll race you for the kill.
Alright.
So you're doing the demonic visage.
I mean, it's better than Warp Madness and Perils of the War.
And yeah, because if you would have made us go berserk, that would have been bad. I mean,
Is it-
wouldn't have affected Gilgasha none. He would have just kept firing. But
Is it worse than Perils of the Warp? I mean, some of the Perils of the Warp are like, just be
Yeah, but
stunned for a couple rounds.
I only get one roll.
Oh, come on. There's only like a 10% chance that you tear reality open, explode, and get possessed by a demon and have your soul eaten by Zinch or something.
Hey guys, have you ever thought that Sleuth's trying to kill us?
What? No.
No, if he was trying to kill us,
No,
he'd be
it's
pushing
like-
his powers.
Sleuth is just role playing. The Warp is trying to kill us.
kill.
Anyway,
don't care how you do it.
My corruption goes up from 2 to 3.
Alright.
I'm also very scary.
Yeah, as the horrifying cracking of bones resonates inside of the very cramped IFV.
Oh, I am so glad Gutgasha didn't get in there. Oh my god, he would be tearing his way out right now.
Yeah, can everybody except Gutgasha give me a -10 willpower test?
Is this against fear?
It is against fear.
I may.
I have
Wow.
yeah, I have resistance to fear.
Wow. The fucking heavy gunner just looked at her like, eh, seen worse.
I'm too busy.
Yeah, I've
shooting at
shot
the-
worse.
I'm too busy shooting at the orc. That's why. I don't care.
I don't believe I'm immune to fear, so yeah. Yeah, I'm getting spooked.
Our driver is getting spooked.
Let's see, so that's
Oh,
a plus 10 bonus, so it's just a straight up willpower test for me.
Yes.
Hey, oh goody. The commissar is fine.
Alright.
That's very good, because if I was afraid, I was going to shoot him.
I mean, like you're not going to shoot him now.
No, I'm not. I'm going to shoot the orcs. He is fucking up, but he isn't fucked up enough to where people are going to die. The orcs are going to kill us, so the orcs are the bigger threat for the moment.
Alright, fear and damnation, insanity track, mental traumas, malignancies. Where is the fear table?
And what happens to our two droids? That's kind of fucked up. That the only ones that failed it were the artificial ones in our group.
Ah,
We're not
roll a
droids, we're
sh-
cyborgs.
Alright,
I know, but
it
the
is.
humans all passed it.
It's not
The
listed as the fear
non-augmented
table.
one.
It's listed as the shock table. Alright, so roll 1d100 and add 10 for every degree of failure. So 15, so 16 is 1, 26, 36. SV, you're rolling a D100 plus 30. Let's see, 19, 20, 21. No, that'd be 20, 30, 40. Mu Theta, you're also rolling a D100 plus 30. Let's see, 42. Reeling with shock, the character backs away from the source of his fear. The character cannot willingly approach the object of his fear, but may otherwise act normally with a -10 penalty on all tests until the end of the encounter.
So we're stuck inside of
So
it.
I just buckle my seatbelt and face forward. There's no scary ghost. There's no scary ghost.
Well, I imagine you've got like the little sliding plastic thing like in taxi cabs. You reach back and just close it.
Force blinders. 97. Ooh.
Bad things.
Ooh. Panic grips the character. He must flee the source of his fear, if able, as
God!
fast as he can. And if prevented from doing so, he may only take half actions and is at a -20 penalty to all tests. Once away from the danger, he may successfully snap out of it to regain control. Rules for that are on the next page. Yeah, so luckily, or perhaps unluckily, the commander's hatch would be open for you to use the pintle-mounted heavy stubber. You have a way out of the Chimera.
Oh no.
Alright, we're snapping out of it. Once you're out of the Chimera, characters...
The source. So I guess you're charging the orcs.
Bravely.
I was gonna
Very
go with get behind the APC.
But the Psyker's at the back of the APC.
Yeah, but he's in the APC.
But the orcs are
Gutgash is
further
gonna
from the
brave
APC
your-
than the Psyker is.
Gutgash is gonna praise your bravery. Yeah, and follow you in and lay down cover fire for you.
Alright. I believe... where was the damage roll? That got a little bit buried. Bu- 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 bu-
13. D10
uh-huh.
plus 2 plus 6?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
13.
Alright. That,
And is he on fire?
he needs to roll an agility test for that. He is on fire.
Yay! That's
Wonderful.
The signal. I start shooting.
Doesn't look like the Psyker powers itself did too much damage, but it did set him on fire, which is always a good thing.
Definitely.
Which basically means that he needs to. His next action, at the very least, is
I'll be right back.
taken.
There's a pretty good chance of it, yes. Alright. And then was that your half action or your full action to do that?
That was flame breath. Which I think is a half action.
Alright, what would you like to do
So-
for your other half action?
I guess I'll test out my new gun,
Ooh, very nice. What kind of gun is it?
the long las.
Ah, right.
So
So,
I got them plus 10 for single fire, plus 5 for support from my other guy. But I can't do aim, so I don't get accurate.
because you use your other half action to psyker power, yes, you do not get accurate. You do get felling though for anything with unnatural toughness.
Does anything out there look unnaturally tough?
The really big guy,
Gotcha.
Yeah, alright, I'll shoot him.
he looks unnaturally tough, unnaturally strong, and unnaturally dumb. Ooh, not quite.
Well, that's about it. Set a big guy on fire. Look, turn into a demon.
Diamond.
Shot at the orc.
All right. That is Valdrick's turn, which brings us to Commissar.
All right. So the close-in orcs, are they just orc boys or?
Yes. All of the closest orcs from the heavy bolting, these guys are just a bunch of orc boys.
Right. Are they Shuda or a Choppa orcs?
It looks like these ones are Choppa, these ones are Choppa, these ones are Shuda, Choppa, Shuda. I'll just little, where are Choppa, and
Cha-ba-ba.
Choppa.
Right.
There. Green dot squads are Choppas.
Right. Right. So if I'm reading suppressing fire correctly, I can basically just declare like a 45-degree arc in front of me, like and angle it, assuming that the gun has some swivel inside the pintle.
Yes.
Yeah. How far does that go?
Up to your short range, so half of the listed range. On the heavy bolter, you can pick a 45-degree arc in the hangar. It has a 75-meter short range.
Right. So the one you actually drew right there, where I get like 3 full 5-boy squads, the 3 mega knobs, and the big guy. Like maybe like angle it a little bit more to the left to make sure I get all 5 of the orcs in that left group. But yeah, like that. And I'm gonna use my full action to just unload full auto suppressing fire with bolt shells.
All right. I'm just gonna have these squads determined by one roll instead of rolling for each individual. All right, that's what is the penalty on their willpower from full auto suppressing fire? Is that a minus?
It's full auto, so it's hard, -20.
Uh-huh. So none of them succeed. None of the orc boys. The freebooters don't. The Mega Knob does succeed.
Okay.
All right.
And then I believe I have to make a hard ballistics test to see if I actually hit anybody with all this.
Yeah. We'll use that.
No, I did not hit anybody.
You have arguably done something more effective. Maybe
Yeah.
not as impressive.
No, but I suppressing their charge coming into us seemed like a better idea than just a +10 boost to everybody for now. Especially with our
Very
psyker, foaming at the mouth in the back there. I'm like quietly palming that one frag grenade.
I don't know. The crack grenade worked really well last time.
If he goes full demon, I don't want there to be anything left.
Now that you mentioned it, that Kriegsman did have 2 melted charges.
He still has them, I think.
Yeah,
still
he
has
hasn't
one.
used them, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we did not set the one on the plasma reactor. Mu Theta kind of nixed that plan.
All right.
What? I thought you were going through with it.
As I understand, it's still on the table as Plan B, but it's not the current plan.
Yeah, the current plan was basically to take the Chimera and try to actually clear the Oryx out, since you were objecting to just straight out, like, first option. We'll just detonate the plasma core and call it good. It's fine. It's fine. I've been trained to deal with, the political situations that can occur in the field, and it's not worth angering our Mechanicus allies. We can deal with this and just hold that as a reserve plan.
Yeah, I might get chewed out for this, but
All right. Commissar, was there anything else you would like to do
Well,
on your
that's
turn?
a full action, so I don't think there's anything else I can do.
All right. Ba-ba-ba. DM5. This is DM6, not DM5. I think one of the guys got skipped somewhere in initiative, but we can. Oh, it's DM2 at initiative 8 after Gutkasha. No, that's DM. Yeah. All right, so DM4 is also going to be DM2. DM5 is the Kriegsman, who is going to pretty much have the same idea as you. And what is a hotshot body gun? Hotshot las gun, 60-meter range. He can't really hit much. So he's going to not suppress. He's just going to burst fire at these guys. All right, and he does 4 pen 7. He probably should have picked one. All right. This guy dies. That is DM6. SV. I'm actually gonna just put him back with the axe. Ruffles.
I mean, do we have a reasonably good firing arc from this position right here?
I like the fact that they have no access to our rear armor.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Is like I don't even want to pull forward.
No, I think we're in a good position for now, especially given that we do have swivel on our guns.
So I think I'll just. Who's nearest to me in the cockpit or whatever you want to call the driving compartment?
I'll be the commissar in the hull gun. You have a little hatch in the front here that you can just pop open to shoot out of.
No, I'm just I'm gonna squirt the tasty nuggets on his gun.
They're sacred nuggets, not tasty nuggets.
They can be both.
That way he can't jam.
All right.
Wait, I typically roll? Are you worried?
No.
The heavy bolter is incapable of jamming for the rest of its belt. Anything else?
Nope. Can't really do much with the whole freak out thing. Can I roll for that?
Where was the effect of yours? Psychic phenomena, you got 30. It's not psychic
42.
phenomena, it was fear. I
rolled a 42 on the fear table.
42 on fear table. Da-da-da. Cannot willingly approach the object of fear, but may otherwise act normally with a -10 penalty on all tests until the end of the encounter. It doesn't sound like it. The effect will end after this fight, though.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Basically, can't do more than reach back into the main turret.
Pulse pin on crack grenade. He's back there, right?
Somewhere. Might want to melt a charge to be sure.
But no, that's it for me.
All
I'll
right.
just, basically wait for the move command from somebody.
Somebody in charge.
Mu Theta.
The hatch is open and there's a demon in my vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, it is not good back there. You might want to make some room.
He's coming for your remaining screens.
No, not my screens! I climb out.
All right.
I'm getting
Wonderful
on top of the
choice.
Chimera.
Uh-huh. Which direction would you like to dismount?
Back.
Mm-hmm. We'll stick a Mu Theta token down. The tech priest would be on the right side, so you'll be behind the left track, by where the Kriegsman is. Because as we all know, they also abhor the mutant, the demon, and destroy the heretic.
So you mean they're normal, well-adjusted people?
Of course. Very sociable people, too. All right. Which one did you have? You had that would be a full action to get there? Question mark. You could do that as a half action. You're nimble enough. I'll say at this point you're away from the danger and you can try to snap out of it, which is a unmodified willpower test. All right, very nice. All right. And that would be your turn. DM1. Where is the rules for being pinned?
Is that the only thing I can do? Getting out?
254.
Yeah, basically with your fear result, it is use your entire action to get away from the horrible, scary thing and then try to snap out of it.
Gotcha.
254, being pinned. Only single half action each turn. Plus 20 on ballistic test. May not leave cover except to retreat. Must reach cover. There's no cover nearby. Must move away. All right. So these guys, I am going to hate this, are going to move their half action to get here and try and get in cover. These guys,
Wouldn't they have to be over one more to get out of the actual, for those two guys in the right to get out of the arc?
they would, but they can't get that far with a half action.
Ah, okay.
These guys need to be down here. I'll call it there. And these guys, their quickest way to cover is down here. These guys will go here. Yeah, they can actually move full two. And they will, when it's their turn. I am being silly. DM1, DM4, which one was this? Oh, this was these guys. Yeah, so they move there. Which makes it Gutgash's turn.
Good guys just start shooting.
All right. Oh, I should probably stick you down on the map because you're outside the Chimera.
Well, he's on top of the Chimera. Yeah.
All right. What would you like to shoot? You got a couple choices. You got some small dudes, a real big dude, some kind of big dudes, more small dudes, more kind of big dudes with glowy weapons.
Okay, which one did somebody else shoot at?
A lot of shots have gone on to the big dude.
Okay, then I have a skill that lets me I have a skill called hang on, where is it? That's the wrong one. Here it is. Called Guiding Fire.
Ooh.
I can double my degrees of success on any ballistic test to hit a target a comrade is already uh but then again it says the gunlugger's comrade must be within
Nope.
cohesion, whatever that word is. COHESION for him doing it.
Cohesion.
Yeah, what is
That just means your comrade hasn't been sent off to grab your gun or something.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't mention how much of the comrade's action that's supposed to take, and because comrades are supposed to be like inconsequential for the most part, just menial tasks that don't hold up initiative, I'm going to say it's going to be part of his volley fire half action that gives you the regular +5 to your ballistic skill test.
All right. So +5, and then what else? +5.
At this range, you
shift.
get a +10 to hit. You can. This is a full action, so you can't half action aim. And are you doing the normal burst fire instead of single shot?
Yeah, burst fire.
So that's
I don't know what
a
single shot is. It's burst or nothing.
so that is a +0 from burst fire. So you're at a +15 for this. All right, that is 2 degrees of success for 1 hit.
So what does that mean? I rolled 2 times.
You roll 1 hit.
Oh, 1 hit.
Yeah, if it was a fully automatic weapon, that would be 2. .22, and the autocannon is pen
6.
6. Very nice. That looks like it did a pretty good chunk of damage to him. Let's see, 75 is his torso armor. Question mark. Nope, leg. Ooh, that's even meaner.
Pull his leg out from under him.
Yeah, he's got pretty thick legs. Like this guy is about the size of a small tree. A little bit bigger than you, actually. All right. Good chunk of damage. Guy's still standing. Looking pretty beat up, but he looks excited by it because they're orcs and orcs are fucking weird. All right, DM4 and DM2. DM2. These guys. I should have done this. Is that right? What is, make their agility 30. What is their run speed? Run is 18, not, all right. These guys are going to run here. These two can't go into a wall, so they're gonna be up here. They're gonna go here and here. I'll just put this guy here and figure out the rest later. These guys, they'll go here. And this guy, because he is chonky, gets a 30. And he is running right at the Chimera. All right, that is DMs 2 and 4. DM 3. These guys. "36 meters. They want to be a bit closer than that. They're gonna use that, and they're gonna shoot. All right, let's see. All right, and you get a bit of learning what the glowing guns do. The red one is a melt-a-gun. Those
Oh,
are
no.
very bad to be hit in a vehicle with. Luckily, they are also very short range, and by the time it hits the Chimera's front armor, it has petered out to ineffective fire. The blue one is a plasma gun, but it fires in full auto. And it is just blasting the hell out of the wall behind the Chimera. Luckily, they have all missed horribly. The last guy just has a heavy machine gun. Well, heavy shooter. Orcs aren't civilized enough to make machine guns. Barbaric cretins that they are. And that brings us back to Arcan.
Okie dokie. Uh, hmm. Well, there's the big guy up front, but that Melta kind of gives me the willies.
These guys are all charging in with the rest of their squad. Well, squad is being used loosely.
Yeah.
Go on,
How-
pick your poison,
how bad-
Arcan.
Yeah. How badly hurt does the guy in front look?
Bloodied, not yet dying.
All right. Well, let's try to make that right now dying.
Well, strangely enough, the guy who is 1.5 meters off the barrel of your gun is in point blank range.
Yeah, which is great.
Good thing he's so tall, otherwise we wouldn't be able to decline the gun enough to hit him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna unload right in his face. So I'm
You
gonna
have
aim.
You have a Kriegsman in the Chimera. All the guns have enough depression to hit.
So plus 10 for the aim. How much for point blank?
Plus 30.
Nice. So 4 and then that.
And a plus 10 from the stabilize if you're
Stabilize,
using
yeah.
that.
Oh, of course I am. That'd be plus 50. I can barely miss. Why did I say that? I don't know.
Arcan, you should push your powers.
I am gonna push my powers. Maximum firepower. I think that's all of them.
Let's see. 93 is a hit. 80, 70, 60, 40. That is 6 degrees of success for 6 hits.
Unfortunately, I don't think the multi-multi gives 6 hits.
Multi-melta?
Oh, multi-laser, my bad.
I was wondering when he got an upgrade.
Well, you said push my powers, so I turned it into a multi-melta.
Rate of fire on it's 5, I think.
There are chimeras with multi-meltas, and they are
It is
mean.
5. Excellent.
Oh, I did forget that he ran, so it'd be at a -20, but I'm not
I
going
still
to.
hit.
Yeah, he's also going to try to dodge.
All right.
I'm also not going
Is
to
this
put the -20
the
because
big guy
I've
that was
forgotten
on
that's
fire?
me. You know what? You're right. He was on fire. I know it requires a D100 test, but I don't remember what it's for. So I will figure that out while you roll your 5 damages. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let's see, on fire. Maybe F for fire. Fire, 266. Da-da-da. Catches on fire, suffers 1d10 ignoring armor.
Oh, should I roll that?
If you would.
Well, probably doesn't hurt him, but is still on fire. Unless he puts that.
All right. Well, I think normally he wouldn't be able to run, but we're gonna go with he is such a mindless barbarian and a insufferable creature that deserves nothing but death that he doesn't even notice he's on fire, runs at the Chimera and gets gunned the fuck down. And
Wow.
that
Wow.
was
Wow.
energy critical. Where is critical damage effects?
Doesn't matter.
I will eventually remember the important stuff like this.
That's what DM screens are for.
I have 3 DM screens. That was a 3 to the body. The attack cooks the flesh on the chest and abdomen, inflicting 2 levels of fatigue and 1d5 toughness damage. I think it does a little bit more than that. What's the smell of well done fungus?
Well, really, just any kind of
It's kinda
a little
roasted,
funky.
sautéed mushroom.
Yeah, it's got kind of like a nutty smell to it.
This orc dies in a surprisingly pleasant scent. And a lot of gore and viscera.
I mean, there's still probably some hair burning, so you got that. I mean, there's burning lubricants.
Hair?
Whatever.
What are you talking about? Those are squigs, which are also made out of fungus.
It's all fungus.
It's all fungus.
It's all fungus? Always has been.
Mossum doesn't say anything, but he's sitting there in the front and he just smells this burning mushroom. And he's like, God damn it, I'm hungry again.
Yeah, so, Goat Gasher, if you could take care of the Melta guy, that'd be great.
Alright, but I believe that brings us to Valdric.
Or Valdric, set that guy on fire.
Well, I'm no longer demonic. And I'd like to
Allegedly.
set. Nope, pat my skin, feel my face. Feels fine to me. But I would like to shoot flame out of my face and set the Melta guys on fire.
Go on, roll doubles again. This guy's at 34 meters.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You could use your fate point.
I don't. Yeah, I don't feel like I. That's what, 5 degrees of success?
66 is 1. 30. That is 6 degrees of success.
Well, I get 1 extra barrage per 2 degrees.
So that would be 2 extra barrages.
How many Melta guys are there?
1 Melta, 1 Plasma. Well, in this squad, 1 Melta, 1 Plasma, 1 heavy shooter. In the
I'd
other
like
squad,
to
it's
spread
2
it
heavy
out
shooters.
and set 3 people on fire.
You want 1 on all 3 of them? Mm-hmm.
I need 3 rolls against being on fire.
Uh-huh. All right. Let's get this. This
So that's-
guy.
In the order of what you said, Melta, Plasma, Heavy.
Fire. Stubba is not on fire, but he's the only one who avoided it.
I mean, he still took damage, but not on fire, yeah. At least
Yep.
the 2 important guys are on fire.
They're orcs, it's not going to stop them.
Like, they can still shoot?
Being set on fire is in large part, psychological effect. Orcs don't fear getting mutilated because they think that all kinds of fighting is a good time.
Yeah.
The way they
Well,
see it, them pulling apart a person isn't malicious, it's just them having fun. The person getting pulled limb from limb by hand usually begs to differ.
Now, on the other hand, because Valdrick isn't getting out to face them and is just setting them on fire at range, he's really pissing them off because he's not fighting them proper like.
Yeah,
well, I think that they should spend their action fighting the fire.
and this time it's the orcs who beg to differ. Because there's a bunch of gits in that can that aren't fighting proper like. So these orcs is going to teach them how to fight proper like.
What do you mean not fighting proper? We're in a big dock of Snazwagon.
Yeah, but these guys are very obviously either Green Tide or like Mechwa. They're not Speedwa, so they're not going to care about that.
Well, that was only half an action, so I guess I'll fight properly and shoot shoot the plasma guy in the face. And actually hit. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I believe this has armor pen 1, felling 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ignore his 2 unnatural toughness, but his regular toughness and his armor will negate the rest of that damage.
Well, darn. Even when I'm hit, I'm still not a good shot.
Well, darn indeed. And now I have a cat climbing on my spine. All right. That brings us to the commissar.
Yes.
And it does.
All right. So this time, half action to be inspiring. Yes. All right. So everyone gets a +10 on their next skill check. And then I'll use my half action for a full auto burst of the heavy stuff of the heavy bolter at the Melta guy.
At the Melta guy.
Yeah.
That one. What is the range on the heavy bolter? It's not 300, is it?
150.
All right, so he's in short range, not point blank.
Okay. And is there any modification to the ballistics test for this?
+10 from short range, -10 from full auto. You can't half action aim. You don't have a comrade.
Okay. Yeah. So nothing.
It's just a flat.
I hit him. Holy shit! I hit something.
Right. Let's see. 31 is a success. 20, 11. You get 3 damage rolls.
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's see, what's the damage roll for this thing? Oh, Jesus.
It has.
Sorry, you said 3 damage rolls?
Yes. And because of the tearing property, it's 2d10, keep higher 1, +8, pen 5.
So,
So,
Blam.
go ahead and roll those crits. We'll see how horrifying this is.
What's a
But-
crit roll?
1d5. 3 and 2 explosive. To the leg and body. Explosive effects, leg 3. Concussion causes target selective fracture, inflicting 2d10 agility damage on top of all of it because he is very dead. And 2 on body. Target is blown backwards 1d5 meters by a terrific explosion, taking 1 level of words. Yeah, he is fucking yoting back.
Oh. The
All
hatches
right.
are secure in my compartment, right?
Yes, the only hatch that is open is the commander's hatch on top of the turret.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm done.
All right. Who went after the commissar? That is DM5, the Kriegsman. He's going to shoot into the orcs that are right in front of the Chimera here. 10 meters is not quite point blank. Uh-huh. He's going to hit 1. And it's 7, 10, 7 against these guys. Doesn't, no, that does kill him. This guy dies. All right.
7. What is he shooting him with?
Hot shot last gun.
Ah, okay.
All right. There we go. DM5 SV.
Tank need to move.
I don't think so.
Okay, tank stay put.
You're not gonna roll down the window and Chicago style these fuckers.
No, already my action to move the tank.
All right. In Only War, you don't have to declare what you're going to do or what will set it off. You just declare that you're delaying your action and then say later that you want to take your action. SV Mu Theta, you have snapped out of it. The demon has been cleansed by the holy machine that it has been contained inside of. How would you like to proceed?
I'm currently on top of the Chimera.
Yeah, you're on the like sloped part of the back of the track.
How many of these fuckers are left?
Between
minor
1 and a
amount.
lot.
For orcs, this isn't a lot.
All right. I will climb back in to my turret.
All right, you're able to do that as a half action.
Am I able to fire it?
That is also a half action.
Am I able to suppress?
That is a full action.
All right, then I just fire it.
All right, who would you like to shoot?
Are there some filthy Xenos that are close to us?
There's 4 of them that are real close inside of
Yeah.
the elevator room.
I'll blast into that group.
All right, what is the range of the heavy stubber? That is 100. All right, they're in short range, not quite point blank. Actually, the closest guys would be in point blank, so I'll give it to you. Because it's pin mounted, it would be from the front of the turret, not the back of it. So point blank is a plus 30. And then full auto is its only fire mode at minus 10. So you have a plus 20 to hit. Okay.
13.
That's 5 damage rolls.
What's the damage formula?
On the heavy stubber.
D10 plus 4.
1d10. These are actually slightly stronger bullets. Seems they're high pressure rounds. It's going to be a +6.
They loaded the stubber with P plus P 50 cal.
Yes.
All right, so 4 rolls of D10 plus 6.
Yes. This sort of thing is definitely not in Astra Militarum or Adeptus Mechanicus regulations, but there's nothing saying they can't do it. At least not on paper. And then how
Right, it's on Data Loom.
No, on Dataloom it says you shouldn't do it. It doesn't say you can't. How do you want to spread these shots out? Want to just kill the closest 2, 1 shot on each?
We'll go. Guys, hold on. That one? No. Guy closest to the door. Yep. No. One over. To your right. Yeah, him. And then the guy closest to us, and then the guy behind him, and then the guy to the left.
All right. You're going right to left. Weeb.
Yeah, as I climb in here, and I kind of spray it with one of the mechadendrites.
Fucking weeb. You would go right to left.
Well, assuming it was, pointed forward, so pushing into it to tilt it would turn it right to left. I never did get to fire it the first time, so it'd be pointed right forward.
Yeah, they are all very dead. All right. Is Mu Theta DM1? I will eventually remember which ones these are. That was these guys. No, whoops. And then they move over another 1. If I can stop clicking stuff that I'm not trying to click. All these suppressed guys are going down here. These guys. Ugh, doing it again. I am just a mess today. That is going to be a pain. This guy's going here. They're making a line now. All right. DM1 is moving. DM3 was these guys.
Don't the orcs in cover now get a check for, like, the two groups on the left would be in cover, right? Wouldn't they get a check for ending pin?
Yeah, I'm just making all the guys move so that you guys can start doing your stuff before I end.
Okay.
All right. That is all their moves, got Gasha. And now I need to make willpower. Uh-huh. All right. All right. These guys are no longer pinned. All the guys close to you are, though. Got Gasha. Mister.
Gut Gasha continues to shoot.
All right. You're in a target-rich environment. You got guys 14 meters away, they're in cover, and then you got guys like 35 meters. You want the really close
yeah.
guys or the
Yeah.
kind of big guys?
I want to hit whoever's the closest to us, I guess. Yeah.
Closest. All right. They're in point blank range, so you get a +30. Burst fire doesn't have any penalties. Are you doing, what was it, your comrade thing to double your degrees of success?
Yeah.
All right. So you'll have
Plus my plus 10.
Yeah, you'll have a plus 40 total.
Oh my dear Lord in heaven.
Ooh, yeah. Pick 3 guys. They're almost guaranteed to die because you're shooting an anti-material cannon at them.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun.
bitches love
Jesus.
anti-material cannons.
Oh my God. So, how many successes is that? A lot?
Uh, 87 is 1 degree. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is 9 degrees of success. Because of your thing, that doubles to 18. Unfortunately, the autocannon does not have a very high rate of fire. It only tracks up to the first 5.
So I roll 5 times.
First 5 degrees of success for 3 hits.
Oh,
So you,
3 hits?
you roll your damage 3 times.
He's just gonna reduce those boys into spores, isn't he?
And then go ahead and give me an extra d5 and see how horrific that guy explodes. 1 impact to the tummy. A blow to the target's body steals the breath from his lungs. It steals his lungs and the rest of his chest cavity along with it. You know what? That guy's just going to explode. And that shell
Yay.
and a lot of his rib shrapnel are going to go through that guy. And then these 2 just die and don't cause an extra casualty in collateral damage. He shot 3 guys and killed 4.
Got Gasha talented.
Gutgash is a very smart Ogren. He might even be able to count to 3. He only knows that because that's how many times his gun shoots.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right. That is Gutgash's 4 round. DM4 is... Which one was that? That was these guys, right? These guys, the stubber guy, or shooter guy, is going to shoot at Gutgasha because he just killed a bunch of his little gits. Uh-huh. Gutgasha, you're getting shot by...
I mean, can't we get along? Just, you know.
This is them getting along. You can roll dodge to try to reduce some of it, but don't think it's likely to have a very big impact because this is a kind of mean machine gun. I should look up what the storm property does.
So,
You can roll dodge if you'd like to try to dodge it. You're probably going to get hit by at least some of it.
crap.
That will... If you have any pips in dodge, it is just your agility. If you have more than 1, you get bonuses. If you don't have any, it's your agility minus 20.
Did you say agility minus 20?
If you don't have any pips in the dodge skill, yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting.
Ooh. Oh. right, I forgot that this is so mean. I didn't think they were gonna roll well.
What?
Uh-huh. Okay, let's see. Storm
I believe
quality.
Gunpowder is dead.
Nope.
As
He
much as
died
I
as he
want to
lived,
argue,
running on top, surfing on top of a chimera, firing his autocannon in full auto into a horde of orcs.
a weapon with the storm quality unleashes shots at rapid speed, often through the use of a double-barrel design. This quality doubles the amount of hits inflicted on the target and the amount of ammunition expended. When firing a weapon with the storm quality in fully automatic mode, each degree of success yields 2 additional hits, up to the weapon's firing rate as normal. And this guy rolled an 11.
So I'm dead.
Now, because he rolled doubles, you can have your comrade nobly jump into the line of fire and take some of the hits for you.
There's nobody up here. I'm by myself.
Your comrade's not going to just leave you high and dry like that.
I am the only one on top of the
You,
Chimera.
you
They should
have
know.
remember you have a mini dude with you. That's always with you. That's not a player.
Yeah,
You
the,
do?
the guy
Maybe
hanging out in your
Battle
backpack.
The guardsmen, Ogren, and Ratlings do. Most specialists do not.
Here I'm thinking, damn, do I get up out of the turret and take a bullet?
Only if the psyker turns into a demon again.
All right. So this gun is pen
Ow.
4
Ow.
from each of
Ow.
these.
Ow. Ow.
I didn't think this guy was gonna roll an 11 the first time he hit something. I thought he was gonna roll like a 30.
How many times am I dead?
What is your toughness, armor, and unnatural toughness?
My unnatural toughness is +2. My toughness is 41, and my armor is 9.
All right, so you've got 5 from your armor. Armor pens through 4, so it gives 1. So you take 7 damage off of all of these. So that's let's see. 5, 7. That's 4. That's negated. That's 3. That's 3. Negated. 3. That is a total. God damn it. It's wrong bot. That one hasn't worked in years.
25.
Yeah, you take a total of 25 wounds.
I am
Your
at 25 right now, so I am at 0. Yeah.
That would take you to critical damage. The good news is you're not bleeding out. The bad news is if you want to stay in the fight as a participant, you're going to be a valid target, and anything is going to really hurt now because the anything that hurts you will do critical damage, which means that on top of rolling a critical effect every time they hurt, is a D10 instead of a D5, and there are some instant kills once you get above like 7s.
Good. Gosh.
Now, your comrade is generally tough enough to take a hit or 2. So if you want him to jump in front of that first shot, he'll probably survive it.
No, that's okay.
All right.
Wait, why would you not have your comrade take the shot?
Because he is pure of heart and dumb of ass. All right, but that is the heavy gun. Now for the plasma. The one that's going to be shooting full auto at the Chimera. Oh, and I forgot that the Chimera has a size bonus to getting hit.
Well, I
It's
mean, that's
not-
fair.
It's not going to matter, though.
Did he just blow himself up?
Let's see. Odds are even.
Odds.
Evens.
He blows up.
I love orcs. That shit, the plasma full auto.
That's why orcs are the bestest.
Yeah, see, the orcs don't use a safe setting on their plasma gun. They've got overcharge and all the charge.
He was using both.
That's where you went wrong.
Maximum turbocharge.
You gotta listen. You gotta listen to your mech boy when he's explaining it. He set it to overcharge or all the charge. You don't want to set it to both because then it blows up in your face. Serves him right.
His mech boy thought it'd be real funny, just not tell him that.
Well, I mean that could happen too. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not going to agree with a Xeno, but it was pretty funny.
Look. The fact that the Xeno also found it funny just proves that you have a good is a coincidence.
All right, let's see.
It doesn't prove anything except that sometimes Xenos can also find a funny thing funny as well. They're still wrong most of the time. Broken clock type thing.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. Now it's the other guy. DM4 is dead. That should be DM5, but yeah, who's counting? DM2. That is the not pinned guys who have mostly been destroyed. What is? Aha. Checkmate. That guy's running. And this guy is also running. That is DM2 question mark. Yeah, because they have been annihilated. Arcan, your turn.
Does anybody else have a really big gun?
There's this guy up here.
What does he have?
He's got what looks like another plasma gun.
Oh, fuck that guy then.
50 meters range. That would put him right at short range, I believe.
Okay. I'm gonna aim. Full auto. Commissar, did you do the? Oh yeah, you did do the.
I did do the thing. Yeah, I'll stay in.
Did the thing.
He is in a bit of cover. It's going to be a -5 from his cover, and he'll have a little bit of extra armor.
Okay. I can deal with a -5. All these PDFs.
That is 2 hits. Actually, this guy's going to try and dodge, because I will eventually remember that's a thing that everyone that's not a schmuck is supposed to try. He's going to dodge one of them. You still get a hit.
Okay, dokie. Damage with
22.
the pet.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That almost kills him. Turns out they are a little bit chunky.
A little bit.
All right, and that's your 2 half actions,
Mm-hmm.
which brings us to Valdric.
All right. I'd like to fire blast whoever is the scariest.
Define scary, because there is a
Um,
dude who is in the process of running up. Oh no, he has run up the driver's hatch and is in the process of performing a boarding action. Or there's a dude across the room with a plasma gun.
um, and the boarding action guy only has like a regular gun.
He's got a little shooter and a big chopper.
I'll fire blast the far guy with the plasma gun,
All
and then
right.
shoot the other guy, if he's, assuming that he dies.
All right, as you crawl over to the other side of the Chimera, this guy is at 50 meters range for the plasma gun. You should push your power to reach him.
I don't need to.
You should do it anyways.
I will push fate though, and it's even worse. Great.
You should have pushed your power. That would have worked.
Yeah, it doesn't change the roll, unfortunately. But I will shoot the guy with the plasma gun.
You're shooting the guy with the plasma gun. He is at short range for your long las. Single fire is another +10, so you have a +20. And you can comrade half action volley fire to make it a +25.
And I will miss everything.
You should have pushed your gun.
I tried.
All right, Commissar.
Well, I will be inspiring.
As always.
Very inspiring. And then, yeah, I'm going to just put a full auto burst into the plasma gun guide, 50 meters.
That's a little under 50, but not enough to make a difference.
So that's still short range, right? So +10?
Yes.
All right, so flat then. Yeah, not this time. As it for me.
Well, I guess technically it would be standard range, because your heavy bolter's only got a range of 60.
Why's mine got like half the range?
Short range is inside of half range. Standard range is without penalties. It just don't get any bonuses.
Gotcha.
Right. From Commissar to DM6, the Kriegsman. How much room is in the commander's hatch of a Chimera?
Not a lot. It's like a single seat.
Yeah, a dude barely fits. All right. So the Kriegsman is going to entrust dealing with the greenskin to the clearly qualified tech priest. He's gonna scooch over here, lean out, and start shooting these guys. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That does not quite kill these guys, but it does hurt them. All right. Boo. Where is my initiative list? SV.
We have company.
There is a greenskin on the roof performing a boarding action.
Could I have used my held action to stab him with my sword?
I'll allow it. It's a bit of a weird angle because you're reaching up through a commander's hatch that barely fits a person to stab someone who's trying to perform a boarding maneuver. But tech priests are weird people, so they do weird things sometimes, and it just works. Go nuts.
I mean, can I just reach my mechadendrite through the hatch and stab him with the knife?
Yeah, like I said, you're weird people who do weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I'll just stab him with the power knife.
Yeah, go on. Stab him.
All right, what is melee is weapon skill? What's my mod on that, or is it just flat? I forget. It's been a minute.
Where is...
How to stab for dummies.
Equipment, add. Standard, not a charge, not called shot, not an all out is a +10. Single attack is no extra, no penalties. No aim would be +0, so you get a +10.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I climb out, pull out the power sword, and stab him.
All right.
All right, let me pull up the book. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a picture for the combat actions.
I've got a sort of cheat sheet through Roll20 on this stream.
Yeah. Well, I also have that pinned message that has all the different things that I put together, but I think that was building classes, not combat and stuff. Okay. Melee.
Yeah. So call shot, standard, charge, all out. Right now your options are not charged, but you can take any of the other three. I think all out basically means you don't get reactions for the next round.
Oh, that's fine. I'll do that.
I am going to double check that though.
Give up rounds of evasive actions to gain +30.
That sounds right.
Okay, so weapon skill. +30.
Yeah, you can't dodge or parry or aim.
Okay. Well, I go all out. That's 74. I got a 31.
As it's just a single attack.
The power
Swift or
sword.
lightning. Do you
All
have
out.
these? Yeah, there's standard, or there's also talents for swift and lightning attacks to treat it like a burst or full auto.
Oh yeah, I have swift attack.
Are you using swift attack, or is this a single?
Oh wait, is that different? That is different, isn't it?
Swift attack is a -10, but every second degree of success is an extra hit.
Swift attack is a half action plus 0. for every 2
Oh.
additional degrees of success.
Uh-huh. This sheet has it wrong then.
No, I'm just all out because I'm not
Alright.
too worried about the evasive.
Just all out. Alright. So the orc is going to try to parry. And fail pretty bad. Go ahead and roll
Alright.
that damage. Mm.
16, pen 5.
The boarding action has been successfully repelled in spectacular fashion.
All right. I drop back down into my seat.
All right. Boom. That is Mu Theta, DM1.
Who? I am not Mu Theta.
Oh. Wow, I am getting the tech priest confused. All right. That was SV. Mu Theta, your go.
Okay, so the boy who was just who just opened up my hatch is dead, right?
Yeah, he ran up and he was about to put his big choppa into your skull plate, and then SV just kind of shanked him up the spine.
Excellent. What group was he from?
He was from the very dead group on the right side of the door.
You know what? I have a full action. I'm suppressing fire.
All right. Cone, 45 degree. What is the range of your gun?
I don't know. You're
What
the one
gun do
with the
you have?
stubber stats.
He's on the heavy stubber.
All right.
He's on the turret.
That I'm pretty sure has a 100-meter range. 100 meters. You can suppress this, a 50-meter cone. So you can suppress that group or that group. Mr. Gilbert?
Hmm.
Oh. I'll go there.
He'll do that group.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a ballistic skill at -20. One of them is already suppressed. And this other group is very suppressed too. All right. You don't hit anything, but you do suppress them. And that is a full round action. And that is Mu Theta's go. DM1. They are still pinned. They are still pinned.
That really sucks for them.
Yeah. DM3. No, this would be DM4. DM4 is this group with the plasma gunner still. And they are at that is in range. Chimera is... That's big. That's pretty big. This might hurt the Chimera. Uh-huh. Oh, let me see what the rules on Jink is, because you might need that. Jink. There is no Jink in the index. What about evasion? Evasion action. 244. That is for on foot. Where are the vehicles rules? Mm-hmm. Ruffles, I don't suppose you happen to know where the vehicle evasion rules are, do you?
Oh, let me look.
I might have found it. I did not find it. Ah, here it is. See Jink action on page 274. There's no Jink action on page 273, that's why. Jink, type reaction, subtype movement. Oh, action can only be taken if a vehicle has moved at least its tactical speed during its previous turn. Unless it's a walker.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
we were sitting still. There's not a whole lot we can do to evade being hit.
You turn the wheel
Alright.
left and right. This doesn't do much.
I was gonna say, yeah, if it's sustained fire, I can turn the front so that it's not, hitting one spot of the plate.
It's already front armor facing, roughly. And there's only so much that you can turn the vehicle without just putting the same part of the Chimera into its weapon spread. Okay. What is the Chimera's front armor? Imperial Guard vehicles. Chimera, front armor. Alright, its front armor is... Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Its front armor is apparently 30. Which means... it doesn't take a whole lot of actual damage, but it does take critical effects, which can get mean. which I need to find damage for vehicles. Vehicle hit locations. The first one is in the weapon, but they would all go to the hull at some point. All right, 3 and 1. All right, the vehicle jolts to one side with the force of a strong hit, forcing everyone aboard to grab onto something to stay in their seats. Any crew who are not strapped in or otherwise secured must make an ordinary +10 toughness test or be stunned for 1 round. So if everyone could give me a toughness +10.
If we're not strapped in,
If you're not strapped in.
yeah, I'll put my seatbelt back on.
Am I strapped in?
You would have a strap in the commander seat, but because you did leave, you've been in the commander's hatch for 2 rounds now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you would have had time to strap yourself back in.
So
So
I don't roll?
you will not need to roll. So
Alright.
basically, Valdric, Gutgasha, and the Kriegsman, because Valdric and the Kriegsman have been playing musical chairs in the back seat. Mm-hmm.
Johnson, that's the word I was looking for.
Those are on the side. I think.
Yes. Sponsons are on the side, and they do have those on the Lehman Russ, but not on the Chimera.
Right. But that's the word I was thinking of when I said like a Castellan mounted gun.
I still like that. We should find a place to use that. Need to make it happen.
Well, first we'll have to put a quarterdeck on the back of the Chimera.
We have a deck priest.
You have 2 of them.
But does the STC support this idea?
Give me a few crayons in the 10 minutes. I can make it happen.
Yes.
You'll have
10 minutes, some dirt, and a recaf stain. We gotta make it look official.
You may have to search the archives of the fleet, but they do have an STC for a lot of things you won't find in most places. All right, Gutgasha. Mister, can you give me a toughness test?
Toughness test.
Yes, please.
Dying out here. Good dashes. Dying.
Oh, hey.
I have any bonuses to it? Oh, wait,
You get a +10. And can you actually give me 2 of those? And Valdric, can you also give me another toughness test? Because the second one is very similar.
I get 2 of them and at +10.
Yes. All right, Valdric, you're only stunned for 1 round, not for 1d5.
Wow.
The guardsman is going to be stunned for 3 as he gets concussed.
Poor Gertson.
He's a Kriegsman.
You said 41 plus. You said +10.
Yes. All right. Yeah, so some super overcharged orc doohickey plasma hits the front of the Chimera, and it knocks the entire Chimera back against the wall, and it sort of bounces off. Gutgasher, you and the Kriegsman inside are both knocked a little bit silly, but you're a big tough ogre, and you're only knocked a little bit silly. You're going to be stunned for 1 round. The Kriegsman is knocked pretty silly. He's going to be stunned for 3. And for the next round, until it was DM, this was DM4. Yeah, DM4's initiative. No, DM3. I'll get it eventually. DM4's initiative. At 10, every shot going out of the Chimera is going to be at a -10. All right. Speaking of which, Chimera does suffer some damage, but not too much. And it is now Gutcash's turn.
Kakesh is dying, but
Just a little bit. And you're stunned.
then I can't do anything, right?
Correct. All right. DM4 is very dead. DM2, I will eventually remember which group this is. I'm pretty sure it's all the pinned guys, but they're all pinned. Uh, bu- 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 Yeah, I did forget to have the heavy gun guys shoot, but that's a them problem. Which means I get pin tests. Hey, I'm gonna say that's me, my mode, this guy. And where is my notes? I'm just gonna put the initiative list here. DM4, 2, DM3. This guy. Wonderful. This guy's gonna shoot Mu Theta. Because Mu Theta is in the Chimera, this has to be a cold shot. And he's going to miss. Yeah, Mu Theta, you have a very close call where you see one of these big fuck off bullets going straight for you, except the thing is keyholed, and it bounces off of the turret's armor, and the entire thing just goes over your head.
Hot damn.
Very orc. They have that meme of the Chinese assault rifle that shoots bullets keyholed out of the barrel at like 5 meters, except theirs has the cartridge attached to it half the time. Arcan.
Oh, goody. Who's that beefy boy with the blue arrows pointing at right now?
That guy just has a big fuck off machine gun.
What about the big boys to the left in the back?
Where is my ruler? This guy's got a plasma gun. These two also have big fuck off machine guns.
The plasma gun guy. He's got to go.
Plasma gun. All right. Kill him.
Commissar, did you make your inspiring roll?
I did.
Excellent. I am.
Of course, the commissar's always inspiring.
Of course, of course.
You are at a -10 because the Chimera took a mean shot from the plasma and got knocked around.
Well, that's lame. That's all
Well-
right. I have stabilized.
Well, you are removing the guy who did it to your Chimera from existence right now.
That is the goal. Yes. He offends me. He really offends me.
That is 4 hits. Uh, uh, give me 2 of those actually. Two. Energy to the leg for the first one. For the 2. The attack flash fries the target's leg, cooking chunks of flesh into char. Uh-huh. That sounds about right, as this dude is fucking obliterated. And 1 to the body. Blow the target's body, steals the air from their lungs. Uh-huh. And this guy is very dead too. Why is this? Why am I like this? I am just a mess. Alright. You may have overkilled him so much that you burned a hole through his torso and then burned a hole through the torso of the guy behind him.
I'm okay with that.
Strangely enough, the 2 Righteous Fury rolls were the 2 lower damage rolls.
Go figure.
Alright, and that brings us to Valdric. Push your powers. Push them. Push your powers. Oh, fuck. Well, why'd you go and do that? Now, how am I going to convince you to push your powers?
I mean, you can just. I'll push my powers if you let me attack this turn.
I'll let
Oh
you
shit! Now
roll.
he's negotiating with the Chaos Gods.
I'll let you roll on the psychic phenomena, and if it's funny enough. Alright, but if you're stunned, unfortunately, have better toughness or pick lower numbers next time. I don't know.
Yeah, my numbers have been really high.
Well, yeah, you're playing only war now. Pick low numbers. This isn't D&D anymore. That would bring us to Commissar, however.
Okay. Well, I continue to be my inspiring self.
As always.
And
So a little bit of hesitation in the speech as half of the crew is either concussed or dying on the roof. Things aren't going as nicely as planned, but you got a plan, allegedly.
wait, this seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah, the Kriegsman isn't even dead yet.
That's all I mean. Anyway, that close big guy off to the right.
Aha, the machine gun guy.
Yeah, because all the plasma guys are dead. All the melted guys are dead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna light him up with a full auto burst.
he is in short range. So you get a plus 10 from short range, minus 10 from full auto.
I'm gonna hit him.
That hits him. Go ahead
That-
and roll your damage.
That's just one hit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
A 21 would have been a second hit.
All right, let's see. Heavy D10 plus 8.
Uh-huh. I'll go down to the explosive critical damage. 3. And a 22 is not a headshot. What is that? 22 is on the arms.
Ah, I disarmed him.
Hmm. A 3 doesn't quite disarm him, but the explosion removes 1 finger and the tips from up to 1 to 5 others from the target's hand. The target suffers 1d10 weapon skill and 1d10 ballistic skill, and anything carried in the hand is destroyed. If this is an explosive, such as a hand grenade, it goes off messy. Use result to 9 instead. Funny thing about this machine gun,
It's explosive.
the ammo is. With a mighty bang, the arm is blasted from the target's body, killing the target instantly in a rain of blood droplets. In addition, if the target was carrying a weapon with a power source in his hand, such as a power sword or chainsword, then it explodes, dealing 1d10 plus 5 impact damage to anyone within 2 meters.
Oh.
It's not a power weapon or a chain weapon, unfortunately, but it is pretty spectacular fashion that he just explodes.
Very cool. That is all.
Wonderful. All right. Kriegsman, concussed, maybe dying. That might have been a little bit of convulsing. He'll be fine, probably. SV,
Did Valdrick look at him or something?
worse. An orc with a Alright, it's not worse. It was just an orc with a plasma gun.
Okay.
Shook the Chimera and hit him in the head with it.
Those 4 that kind of make a downward left swoop are all dead. That sort of hint of red to them is the X, I'm guessing. The bottom of the oval.
Bottom of the oval. Yes.
Those 4 are dead.
These 4 are dead.
So the closest group is the group of 5 shooter boys in front of us.
Yes.
And the guy who rocked our world has been dealt with.
Extremely.
Very dead. He is so dead that the main gun melted a hole through his torso and into the next guy and killed both of them.
I don't know if we had breakfast yet, but I was feeling like some pancakes.
Ooh, you're ramming.
Run him down.
I would like to drive forward and slightly to the right.
Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
If possible, after you run them over, you might want to spin a little bit just to kind of churn them up in the treads, and also keep our heavy armor facing the heavy machine gunner.
Yeah, I was gonna do like a J turn. Yeah, I was gonna go forward and back up to the right so that our heavy armor is facing those 3 big guys. So yeah, basically pull forward and then back up and turn to the right slightly. Nope, not 90, 45.
We want to face the last knob.
Yep, and then I would back up whatever my movement is left. I don't know how much movement the Chimera has off the top of my head.
I think it's a tactical speed of 18.
Okay, so yeah, I go forward the 14 meters and introduce them to the treads, and then do a little bit of a dance to make sure that they really get familiar with the treads as I back up.
Tactical speed of 15.
Okay, well then I back up 1 meter.
All right.
But yes, I go forward, turn, and then back up because I'm probably going to hop out and start fighting the shooters in melee. Because I can take them in melee, and then everybody else can focus the other guys.
Go ahead
And that
and
gives
roll
our
me.
guns. Go ahead.
Go ahead and roll me a operate surface with what is the Chimera? You'll get a plus 30 from the size bonus to hit these guys.
All right, so
Plus
And
10
they're
for
going
my
to-
inspiration.
okay, so operate surface plus 30. You said.
Yes, because you have a big fuck off IFV running over a bunch of dudes. They're called
Okay.
crunchies for a reason.
So I got 10 from mine, 30 from the big ass fucking boat, 10 from the inspiration. Well, I think our chances are good. Oh dear God.
Oh,
99 to
oh.
hit. I got a 4.
Yeah, you just like Tiananmen them.
Yeah.
So, who wanted pancakes? Orders up. In all fairness, they probably weren't expecting the Chimera to lurch forward like that.
I mean, it's been sitting still
God damn it.
this whole
Yeah,
fight, and then all of a
exactly.
sudden,
Vroom.
Yeah.
That would be, what, 10 degrees of success?
Those orcs are very fucking dead.
And yeah, like I said, use the last meter to pivot so that we're facing the heavy gunners with the heavy armor, and so that's my action to move it. I still have my personal movement, right? Or is that my movement to move it?
Movement is an action in Only War.
Okay, so is driving the tank forward a full or a half?
It would be a half for up to its tactical speed.
Okay, so I can pop the hatch, hop out, and get in cover.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like
at
to
least
do that.
partial cover.
Yeah, I want to be to the back side of the tank so that I can get to the shooters over on our left now, or the left of the tactical map.
These guys?
I'm assuming you knew which one I meant by left. I'm outside
Yes.
smoking. I have no idea.
I mean, he's pointing to ones that are
Yes.
to the left, so I'm guessing.
So,
So.
yeah, the ones that are left of that the red door.
The closer ones, you mean,
Mhm.
along the wall.
These guys are choppas. Green dots are melee.
Do you want range? or
Oh,
the
that's
melee
right.
guys?
The melee guys. Yeah, the melee guys. I want to get melee with the melee guys.
All right. Okay. What is your God, I'll remember. Agility modifier?
4. So
Or
my half is 4 meters. I want to get to the back side of the tank first, because then I'm going to charge them from. So like where the cluster 4 that makes the Tetris piece on the back corner of the tank. Basically, I want to be in the middle of that guy, but in cover from the shooters that are above the choppas. So, yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
you're basically just on the angled back part of the tread.
Basically getting ready to charge them.
All right.
That's it for me.
That's SV, so Mu Theta. Ah, God damn it, I have to find the initiative list again. Wait, I have technology, I put it in Notepad. I am smart sometimes. I just never remember when I am. All right. Mu Theta.
Fire into the crowd of boys, or what? Do you guys have a preference for who I shoot?
Shoot the knob.
I shoot the knob.
Yeah, the big guys that can actually damage the tank.
Shoot the knob.
Oh, that guy can maybe damage the Chimera, but that's a strong maybe. And definitely not through the front armor. All right, 40 meters, you're on the heavy stubber. So that's in short range for +10. Full auto is a -10. You can half action aim for a +10. Or you can use your half action for something else if you have something else to do.
No, I'll have action aim.
All right.
Damn.
Unfortunate. Do you want to use your fate point?
No.
Oh, actually, there's also the -10 that I've been forgetting a little bit from the Chimera getting rattled around, and another -10 from the Chimera moving up to its tactical speed. But
Oh yeah, I suppose I
wouldn't
have the
have affect-
-10 from the fear.
yeah, it wouldn't have affected much on any of the rolls from when they applied. So that is Mu Theta's turn, question mark.
Yes.
DM1 is this guy. These guys are going to, wonderful. 16. All right, I'm gonna have to get rid of these guys. And this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to use their full action to run in. Gutcatcher, you're a little bit surrounded. But that just means you're in a target-rich environment. But DM4 is this guy, and he's going to return fire at the guy in the commander seat. And he's at a -10 and a -20 and another -10. So he is missing horribly. All right. That is DM4. That means Gutcasha. Mister,
Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
you're in a target-rich environment in your immediate area. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna start shooting, spitting blood, spitting lead.
Well,
That's all
you
I'm
can use it
saying.
there, guys.
Huh?
There are 5 orcs that just ran into melee with you.
Okay, well then we switch tactics.
That's an awfully big word for an Ogren.
I mean, wait, they're in melee. Does that not mean I can't shoot them?
I believe you would need a pistol weapon to shoot someone who's in melee with you. Which I don't think you have.
I would push the gun into them and pull the trigger. So if I can't use my gun in melee range, it doesn't change
You
how
have
it
the
works.
giant chainsaw sword or the
Yeah.
taser knife.
I will go with the giant chainsaw sword and start hacking these things.
All right, go ahead and roll me your weapon skills. You've got a +10 from standard attacks. This one is wrong. There should be another +10. And then you can half action aim for a third +10. And I believe, Commissar Mosub, you got your inspiration, right? So there's a fourth +10, and then you can comrade half action affix bayonet for a +5. So if you spend your entire turn doing this, you're going to be at a +45.
I want you to
That
look.
is
Oh my god! I barely made that shit.
a hit.
Fucking
Go ahead
hell.
and roll the damage for me. That is not quite correct. That's 2d10. All right. And then that
I
also
was
adds.
really hoping he'd roll a 14.
That would have been hilarious. Then you add your strength bonus and your unnatural strength to it. What's your strength score?
52.
So your strength bonus is the tens digit for 5. Ogryn have unnatural strength 2, I believe.
That'd be 18. 18 because it'd be a +7.
Yeah. Take your pick of the orcs. Which one do you want?
Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. Whichever
We'll go
one's
with the one
closest.
in the middle.
Yeah.
That guy is killed in horrific fashion as he is chopped in half by a chainsaw sword.
Yeah.
All right. See, where is DM5 is dead. DM2 is the rest of these guys. They're going to. That's a little bit far for them. This guy. Guys did see a little the word engine seer run around the back of the Chimera, so they're gonna shoot all their shooters at him. Not very well, because they are still pinned somehow. But one of them gets a lucky shot off, apparently. And the pure volume of fire gets a couple extra rounds in. SV, would you like to dodge?
I mean, I could. Sure. Mm-mm. I think fate says otherwise. I would like to dodge. Fate allowed me to dodge.
All right, so you dodge the first guy's 2 shots, and you get hit by the last 2 guys. 1 shot each. That is 8 and 15, pen 1, and 25. No, I have goofed up. It should only be a +4, so that's 7 and 14. Not that it's going to likely make a huge difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got tough 2, armor 5, so I soak 7. What's the pen? Or no pen?
Pen 1.
Okay.
So
So I
that's
soak 6.
So that's 7 and 14 for 1 damage and
8.
9 wounds total. And where is the critical effects? Injury, critical effects, impact, impact body. All right, is this body? Oh, it's 12. Which one is 12? That's an arm. 12 is a right arm. The attacker strikes the target's limb with a powerful blow, causing him to drop anything held in that hand. So you drop whatever is in your right arm.
Power sword.
I can't believe you would drop the sacred technology of the Omniscial like that.
One by choice.
Shame. Oh, shame.
All right. These orc shooters, they're going to be running because they got a plan, but they can't actually run. So they're going to have a mediocre jog. And that means all right. These guys are no longer suppressed. Well, no longer pinned. Where is my notepad? DM3. Arcan, back to you.
Oh, goody, goody. Let's see here. And I'm gonna shoot that last guy that has the heavy machine gun that's behind us.
Behind?
Well, or in front. Over with the corner. Yeah, that guy.
That's in front.
Front, behind. It's all doesn't matter. I have a turret. Commissar, did you make your
I
plan?
did.
Excellent.
I'm very glad you're not the driver.
Well, yes, I'm the gunner.
You are at a -10 from the Chimera moving its tactical speed, but the -10 from the Chimera being shaken around has worn
Oh.
off.
Excellent. Huh.
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 Well, I make some pretty holes in the walls around them.
Do you only have a... Huh.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Are you not aiming or something?
Well, so plus 10 from the aiming, minus 10 from the moving, plus 10 from the command. It's only another plus 10 for range, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the plus 10 from stabilize removes the minus 10 from full auto.
It replaces it.
Oh, replaces it, but that still only makes it 73 if I actually remembered that correctly. So I still miss.
Huh.
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 All right.
Yeah, sometimes you just miss. Life in the guard.
I don't believe you. All right. Baldric.
All right.
Where's your powers?
I guess I just start blasting fire at the mooks that are left.
Which mooks?
I mean, is there any bigger guys left?
There's a bigger guy.
All right, I'll burn him down.
Mm-hmm.
I set him on fire.
Huh. Huh. Hey, Arcan.
Yeah,
That fucking psyker just stole your kill.
it's all right. I got a 2-for-1 last turn.
That psyker got a 2-for-1 earlier in the fight. He did it first, in fact.
Prime's crack grenade with malicious intent.
But I was
Good.
told that the more I kill, the safer I'll be. What word do I have?
All right. That's a half action.
Yeah. I'll blast someone close by with laser shot.
So there's a guy.
Actually, am I in melee with anybody?
You can pop out of the God, I keep forgetting what it's called. I'm not
Yeah.
even sure what yeah, you can pop out of the Chimera's roof hatch and be in melee with the ankles of a dude.
Because I got this shiny new force that I want to try out.
Oh hey, force swords are neat.
Force staff.
Less neat, but still neat.
Yeah. Do I get any bonuses for swacking at someone's ankles?
You know, I'll give you a plus 10 because there is a mechanic called gang up. The more people you have on your side of a melee, the easier it is to hit someone on the other side.
Nice.
Yeah, that Ogryn's got to count for like 5 or 6 people.
You know, good point.
And does my comrade help out in any way?
Yes, sort of. You can have your comrade half action affix bayonets and just kind of nip at the other ankle with his knife.
All right.
Kind of like how a Drake Warden might have their dragon steal someone's boots.
No, that's ridiculous. I've never heard of that happening.
Yeah, you're right. That would be silly.
So what's my total bonus?
Plus 15. Oh, hey.
What? 15?
15, 1-5.
Well,
That misses by kind of a lot.
I am not very good at fighting other than when I'm shooting fire from my face.
It would be embarrassing if you were anybody except for the Psyker, but at least everyone already knows not to have standards for you. All right. It's both your half actions, Commissar.
All right. Well, actually, I'll be my usual incredibly inspiring self.
The Greenskins are performing another boarding action. In fact, one of them has a filthy Xenos boot on the barrel of your heavy bolter. Granted, there's not much left above the boot, because that's the one that got chopped in half by Gakash's Eviscerator.
Yeah, my squad, I inspire them. They've got the melee stuff handled. I just line up on those shooter boys off to the west and do a full auto burst into them.
Full auto into the shooter boys.
Yeah.
This is short range.
That's it.
Uh-huh. All right. DM6, the Kriegsman. And he's still twitching, so he's not dead yet. Probably. Corpses don't twitch, right?
Not according to the rock.
Yes, they do.
What thing?
All right, SV.
Who told you corpses didn't twitch?
So what happens when you're at max wounds?
Any more damage you take will be critical damage.
Okay, so I don't want to get hurt that much anymore because I'm at 2 out of 11. Or 11, 9 out of 11. And also, who shot me or attacked me? I missed that part. You told me I was taking damage, so.
It was these two. They have kind of a shot. You got a lot of cover from the Chimera, but they also had a lot of bullets and got lucky.
All right. Well, it would appear my targets have gotten closer. So, I would like to go introduce themselves after picking up my fucking weapon.
Understandable. Would you like to charge, or would you like to just trot up and stab them?
Let me remember. Move 4 meters plus 20. Yeah, 1 second. So I forget what the ballistic mechadendrite does.
I believe it's half action to shoot your weapon at a dude.
I thought it was a reaction.
I
thought it
think
was a
that's the
free
full
action.
MI interface. I could be mistaken.
I think the MIU interface just lets you do it with larger weapons. The ballistic mechadendrite
I know it
requires
lets
a
you do
compact
that.
pistol.
Yeah, maybe it's just a size difference.
Right,
Size does matter.
Attack with this weapon as his reaction. Okay. So, in that case, then I would like to charge. Because I don't think I can make... Well, wait, can I just make a...
They are close enough that you can just walk in and stab them.
Yeah, I mean, I also have the movement speed to... I could run to the fucking dudes that just shot me. I have... My all-out run is 24 meters.
That's a little bit.
Yep. So yeah, what I would like to do is, can I, since I have the power knife, can I make a power sword attack and then stab the same guy with the power knife? You know, the scorpion tail.
Yes.
Half action, half action.
Yes. You are not required to split attacks. You can focus or split as you please.
I just didn't know if I could make 2 attacks.
Does the knife one need a separate half action? Or is that a reaction like the ballistic?
Well, we flavored the ballistic, but I'm assuming that you could just use it as a regular, because it says you can attack as a reaction. It doesn't say you can only attack as a reaction. Basically, it upgrades it to being able to be used as a reaction.
Isn't there a thing in the rules that says you can only take 1 attack action though on your turn? I feel like I saw that somewhere while I was scrolling through the book. Like there's a hard limit on the number you can take.
Well, technically, I'm offhanding.
Yeah, I know each weapon can only be used once, but I think as long as there is a penalty involved with it that I have to look into, but You can dual wield.
Yeah, I seen the dual wield attribute or trait or whatever it is, and that negates it. I just remember reading it today. It negates the -20 from offhanding. So if anything, using the Scorpion Tail would be an offhand, and I'm not dual wield proficient, so I would have a -20 to it.
That is. It's just a -20 just to the offhand, or is it to both?
I thought it was just the offhand.
We'll go with just offhand for this week, and I'll look into it more. We'll change it next week if it ends up being different.
Character may use either hand equally well for any task and does not suffer the -20 penalty for actions using their offhand.
All right. Just offhand it is then.
Yep. Wait, right below it. Special when combined with 2-weapon wielder talent, the penalty for making attacks with both weapons in the same turn drops to a -10. So, yeah, I'm just gonna charge the guy and attack him with my power sword because this is getting too complicated and.
All right. Charge and attack. Left, right, doesn't matter.
Whoever's closest to me. Preferably with some cover from those other shooters.
Yeah, you can kind of
Wait.
stay behind.
The guys up north took shots at me?
Yeah, around the back
With-
of the Chimera.
With what guns? They're a green dot.
Yeah, they have pistols.
Oh.
The shooters are like two-handed assault rifles. The melee guys have like a sword in one hand and like a little pistol shoot. I don't think they call it a shooter. It's called something else. In the
Slug, I think.
Slugga?
Slugga, yeah. I just couldn't think of the name.
Their little pistols do a D10? Okay.
Everything
But
does
all
a
right, charge
D10.
melee.
Everything except for knives do D10. Some weapons have what's called the primitive trait, where it caps how much damage they can do on a D10. Like a bow and arrow has primitive 8, so it can't do more than 8 damage.
Okay.
Man, you should see a Grotz pistol. It looks like one of those like Looney Tunes revolvers with a barrel big enough to just stuff your head down.
Yep, so I'll just charge the closest guy. And giving myself as best cover from those long range guys as I can. And see about separating his head from his body.
All right. Go ahead and roll that damage.
And that's power field and balance. Actually, balance only matters for parry, so.
All right. Yeah, you are able to separate this guy's head from his body, and you're able to separate his body from his everything else too.
Excellent. Well. If I can, I'd like the close ranks of the next guy, kind of continuing the charge. Can't attack him, but I can get closer.
Yeah, you'll have partial cover from the guys up north, but not really from the guys to the west that this far up.
Okie doke.
All right. That's SV Mu Theta.
Who left?
There are 3 orcs performing a boarding action and 2 groups of 5.
Alright, swivel gun. Blast the orcs off the hall.
Strangely enough, the orcs that are 2 to 6 meters away from your 50 cal are in point blank range. That's a +30. And technically, they're not engaged with anyone yet, so there's no -20 modifier for that.
So yeah, I open fire.
That is 4 hits. Let me know how you'd like to distribute them, and go ahead and roll the damage.
2. Well, you said there's 3.
3 of them, 4 hits. Yes.
All right, so 2, 1, 1.
Yep.
Actually, we'll go 2, 2.
2, 2.
I said +6 damage.
Yes.
7, 7, 7,
Wow.
15.
Stay the hell away from Vegas. Actually, 777. Go to Vegas.
Yeah,
don't-
7s
don't
are good in Vegas.
Don't touch anything with 10 sides on it.
No, go ahead. Just let me know what you're betting on, and I'll take the opposite side.
All right.
Given how bad my luck is, like in general, I would absolutely do that for a cut of the winnings.
Right? Yeah, you can win with low rolls. You just, in like bad rolls, you just need to be consistent. That's the trick.
Even with that minimum damage on 2 shots, a 50 cal is surprisingly enough able to rip a person in half. It will kill an orc. All right. That's your turn? Question mark.
I mean, is there anything else I can do? It's whatever resource I use to shoot.
Half action unless you're aiming on top of it.
No, so I just fired. So I have a spare half action. What can I do with that spare half action?
You can move. How much can you do with a half action? Core rulebooks, combat, structured time, combat actions, half full aim, brace heavy weapon, delay half action, feint half action for weapon skill test, full auto, grapple, half or full, guarded action, leap, knock down. Oh, yeah, Aspie has it. Knock down, but there's nobody in reach. Lightning attack, maneuver. Move, watch. Ready, reload, semi-auto, stand. Standard attacks, done. No, that's a full. Swift attack. There's not a lot, apparently, aside from attack.
Nah, I won't be doing anything then.
Alright. Boo, where is my notepad? Theta DM1. I forgot whether that's the shoot as the choppers. But I'll go with who does. These guys. Yeah, you know what? Ugh. They're gonna move up. Ugh. I give up.
Can you not control Z?
What?
Can you not control Z?
No, not in Roll20. It'll just. Oh shit, I can.
He just made his day, Ruffles.
Oh no, I was just gonna deal with it looking ugly. Um, they're going to run up to there, and that's gonna be their turn. DM4 is dead. Gutgasha.
Gutkasha is still in melee. He's still swinging his sword.
All
right?
right.
There's somebody still in melee with me, right?
Yeah.
Kill Kreitz.
Oh, right. I think DM1 was the Choppas, because Gutgasha already had a hit on him.
So
Yeah,
what is
it'll be
my
fine.
plus what? 40? 50?
Plus 50 now, because SV has joined the fight, and it is harder to fend off a second attacker. And do you have the what's the talent called?
I hit
think there's
massively.
whoa. Go ahead and roll damage. I don't think it's looking good for this guy. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good for him. Do you like lumberjack? You golf swing? How are you ripping this guy in half with a sword?
Yes.
Ah, double tap. Very nice. I see the commissars taught you well.
I want to point out, I am slaughtering orcs, and I want to point out Gutgasha has a sucking chest wound and is bleeding profusely from every orifice. But he's still killing orcs for the glory of the Emperor.
Hey, speaking of sucking chest wounds, Gutgasha, these orcs have a little bit extra ammo. They'd like you to hold on to it.
Well, okay then.
They're gonna split their fire.
I
Gutgasha,
mean, I've done killed enough of them, so yeah.
would you like to hold on to those bullets, or are you going to try and drop them?
Well, I mean, I could try to drop them, but I got a minus 20, so this is going to be like not safe.
You're just too good at playing catch. The commissar really has taught you well.
Yeah, no.
Bu- 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 What is their range? Oh, that's not good. Okay. How many of those go through your armor at all?
Take away 9, 2 of them.
Okay. 2d10. I'm sure. Ooh. I'm sure neither of those are insta kills.
Gutgasha's dead.
There are injuries, impact to the body. Impact critical effects to the body 6. The target knocks the target sprawling off the ground. Target is flung 1d5 meters away from the attacker and falls prone. If the target strikes a wall or solid object, he stops. Target suffers 1d5 levels of fatigue and is stunned for 2 rounds. You are knocked.
off the. I'm knocked off the
You were knocked
APC onto the ground.
a meter, which is still
Stuffy.
impressive for a pistol to knock a like half-ton Ogren in.
I mean, it does knock me off the. It does knock me off the thing though.
Not quite. You weren't teetering on the edge. You only got knocked a couple feet over. You do bump into SV, and it is very uncomfortable for him. But where was it? Does knock you prone though, and you get another 1d5, 2 levels of fatigue. So while you have fatigue, all your rolls are going to be at a -10. He's asleep for that. And then, oh, okay. How much do you like Gut Gasha?
Do I like for what?
He's
on
a good
on
bullet
a
sponge.
scale of
I
1 to
like him.
10, how attached are you to Gut Gasha?
It's probably dead.
So number 10 starts with as above, which is never a good thing in Only War. Above, number 9, the target jerks back from the force of the attack, throwing back his head and spewing out a jet of blood before crumpling to the ground dead.
Oh, damn it.
Now, you can burn a fate point, where you spend a fate point and lower your maximum by 1 permanently to survive an otherwise fatal wound. So you can survive this if you reduce your maximum fate by 1. On top of that, you're throwing another 1d10 meters away from the attack. Anyone in the target's path must make a challenging +0 agility test or be knocked prone.
So I'd lose a permanent fate point, but I would survive.
Hey,
You'd
a
still
5.
get a beat
That's
Gut
not a
Gasha,
9.
Yeah. I would sacrifice the one because you have 2, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get away with it.
So, Espy, I'm going to need an agility test as these 4 pistol rounds send half a ton of Ogren and armor flying first into your shoulder and then across the entirety of your existence.
I'm sorry.
This is fine. Just
Hey, when
agility
did he
flat.
get out of the cockpit?
I've been out for a minute since I turned the
okay.
tank.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
I'm a melee build. And then my other support role is driver and pilot. Pilot hasn't come up yet, but so just flat agility, you said challenging +0?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm afraid, so -10. I finally remembered to actually add that. Yeah, he knocks me.
All right, you are knocked prone. It'll take a half action on your next turn to stand up.
Can I grab onto him?
Do you want to get taken with him?
I mean, if I'm gonna be prone, I don't want to be prone here.
All right. You both go tumbling over the side of the Chimera. All right, that is the York Shooter's turn. Where did my initiative list go? Let's do them two. They're dead. Arcan. You just watched pistols knock over half a ton of Ogren off of your Chimera.
Well, yeah, that's.
Oh, and I also need to make. Aha! They are horrific at these willpower rolls, apparently.
let's see here. That'd be a good way to like lay into that group of orcs right in front of me.
Well, since you mention it, they are just about in point blank range. You
I like-
can hold an action, see what they do on their turn, and if they move forward at all, they will be in point blank range. Or you can just obliterate them right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I kind of want them to be, just gone. They offend me.
As they should. They're filthy Xenos.
So I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, lay into the front one and just no stitch the multi laser through him and maybe into the guys behind him.
All right. Go gadget multi-laser.
Indeed.
Go ahead and roll that. You are in short range for a
Which is plus.
+10.
Okay.
You can stabilize for another +10.
Yep. So that'll be just 10 more than the last roll I did.
You can half action aim for another +10.
Of course, I'm doing that. Yep.
Commissar inspiration?
Yep.
Question mark.
Oh, yep. That do it right there.
Yeah, that will do it right there. And 6, 5. That is 5 degrees of success for your full rate of fire of 5.
A little lame on some of that damage though. That they're disappointing right there.
How are you splitting these? You just
Going until they die. So just kind of
Right.
shooting through and just stuttering, going right through the line of orcs.
Plink, plonk, plink, pling. Turns out a anti-material minigun is pretty good at dealing with things that are made out of material.
Oh, perfect. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that gun is meant for heavy infantry and light vehicles. These are just schmucks.
Well, yeah. Luckily, it's an anti-schmuck machine too.
All right. Is that Arcan's turn?
That is.
That brings us to Valdric. Push your powers, push your powers, push your powers.
I mean, these are just schmucks. I don't think I need to.
Push
Yes.
your powers.
I'll just
Only 2 people are dying. Push your powers.
Joe,
Imagine
what
I-
you can do.
imagine I push my powers and just instantly die.
Don't listen to the foul temptations of the dark gods. You're a loyal Imperial citizen.
Let's just see how many people we can kill in one session. Go for it.
The Emperor says
All right.
push your powers.
I regularly blast fire at my face.
Boo.
At the nearest living orc.
There is a lineup.
In the middle.
Uh-huh. I think a 2 is a couple degrees of success.
Yeah.
That is, in fact, 8 degrees of success, if I'm doing my math right.
So I got 4 total shots.
That sounds right. Is there a upper limit on this? does it like go to your willpower bonus or something?
The number of hits scored in this manner may not exceed the Psyker's effective psi rating.
What is your psi rating?
3. I should have pushed it. No, it mattered.
You fool.
I'll let you push your powers now.
Don't do it. Don't succumb to the temptations of the dark gods.
You should
The Emperor
always
says to
succumb
kill the heretics.
to the temptations of the dark gods.
You're just going to let more of these Xenos live? In front of my Emperor?
I'm not selfish and am letting my teammates enjoy killing them as well.
Yeah, fine. These guys are super tough. Only one of them dies from that.
Well, 3 shots, 3 different targets, and they set on fire.
I'll be right back.
Smells
Oh, they all die.
very nutty. All right.
And then I shoot one of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're in short range.
So is that a 0 or plus 10?
Plus 10.
And is this short range for a long last?
Yes. If they were like 2 squares closer, they'd be in point blank.
Oh, still not good with guns.
The orc that you shot at stops his fighting to point and laugh at you.
Well, I just burnt 3 of your comrades with my face.
And he thought that was funny. And now you missed because you're bad at fighting. And that's even funnier. All right.
I glare at him, trying to blow him up with my mind.
You're out of brain power this turn. You could have if you pushed your power. Commissar, I
I
believe that
really
brings us
could have.
to
It's
your
true.
turn.
This one time.
Commissar Mosub.
I do my usual inspiration. And yeah, I full auto burst into those orcs.
All right. They are a bit far to the side to swing the pintle mount out to, or not the pintle mount, the hull mounted gun out to. But you are right next to the driver's seat. You can just reach over, turn the Chimera a bit, and
Yeah, I do.
reorient.
All right.
All right.
So
I
it's what,
think of
3
4.
hits?
1, 11. Yeah, 3 hits. Yeah, yeah. Explosive. Explosive critical effects. concussion from the explosion knocks the target to the ground and turns his innards into so much ground meat. Target must immediately make a challenging toughness less. Words. Yeah. You have turned this guy's insides into a tossed mushroom salad. And the other was a 3. Uh-huh. This guy's knocked backwards 1d5 meters. Poof. Very dead. Very prone. And I think he's going to be stunned for a little bit more than 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that does seem to be the initiative cleared out.
Very good. But it is late.
Indeed. That, once again, has gone on a bit longer than I expected.
That's fine. Orcs just need to be killed.
Hmm.